Hi there. So, in this video, I'll discuss how you can get started with binary classification, one of the most famous and the starting point of deep learning. And it's quite often and quite regularly used. So, what is binary classification? It is either the classification between two class is the classification between two classes. So, it might be cats and dogs, it might be lion or not lion, it can be human versus robot, it can be roses versus sunflowers. It can be anything, basically any two classes. There are two ways you can approach binary classification. You can begin with class A class B problem, or the other way is class A and not class A problem. So let us dive in and have a quick overview of what I'll be discussing. So the topic of the presentation is basically binary classification. Then we'll begin with, this is the data set. These are the data sets. Two are the data sets and one is the notebook link. The first link is the data set to the is cats and dogs TF records dataset, which I discussed in one of the videos wherein I showed how you can get started by making labeled TF records data using QuickML. This link is TF Keras pre-trained model weights dataset link. This shows how this is useful for RAM optimizations. However, there are many optimizations that are happening behind the scenes. If you include this is an added benefit. So you will get to know the importance. I'll discuss in one of the later section of the video. So what's the workflow with QuickML? It's quite simple, 3 or 4 steps. Get the installation and the imports, get the TPU strategy and load the datasets, define the necessary parameters, and the fourth step is up to you. Either you have fixed your mind and you want to do a single model training, or you want to have a quick overview of a set of models or a list of models. That is a model training report. So what does single model training look like? It's a single liner code. So you just in one line of code you define you do the compilation as well as model obtaining as well as adding the classification layers. So you remove the top layers, add the classification layers, as well as you perform the compilation all in one step. And then simple model fitting. This is single model training at the least possible lines of code. Then comes models training report. This is quite brilliant. This is all you need to do is simply mention which models you need to train on and one line of function call, and it will train. It can train up more than 24 models in a single session due to the maximum optimizations made in the RAM memory as well as other factors. So all you need to do is mention models, the list of the names, and it will train all the models in a single go. So let's dive in. Let's see how it happens. So I'll be using Kaggle for this particular example. Let's name it quickly. QuickML binary classification cats and dogs. Don't waste your TPU hours right now. Just keep it simple. Just keep it in CPU mode, do the coding, and then turn on the TPU. So the first will begin by installation and the imports, and let's keep the documentation open. So let us begin. Let us begin by installation of QuickML. Then what we'll be needing, pip install the necessary imports, installation and imports. So first line is the installation of QuickML, second line followed by the installation is the imports of the necessary libraries. So first you need to import TensorFlow because it's built on top of TensorFlow, and after that QuickML. When you're done, you need to get the TPU strategy and load the datasets. Get TPU strategy and load the datasets. So whatever kind of dataset you have, if it is a binary classification task, whether you need to, is a case of classifying A or B, not A or B or C or D, simply A or B. This would be the approach. Just the dataset would be different. Rest everything would be the same. So let us begin. Let us resume. Get the TPU strategy and load the dataset. To get the TPU strategy, all you need to do is from quickml.begin TPU import define, what is it, import define TPU strategy. Alright, after that just copy this line of code. This would define the TPU strategy and return you the strategy as well as the TPU instance. Now, what you need to do is you need to define the labeled TF record format. So now is the turn to load the dataset. So to load the dataset, first you need to have the GCS path, you need to have the train TF record path, you need to have the batch size. These are the parameters. However, loading requires having the labeled TF record format as well as the GCS path. So let us first obtain the GCS path. From Kaggle datasets, import Kaggle datasets. GCS DS path. What is GCS DS path? It is basically the path wherein your TF records are stored in the, it is there in the Google Cloud Services buckets. So we need to define the path where it is there on the Google Cloud Services bucket, then it makes a link, and then the TPU access is able to access the TF records data. So go over here, I didn't add the data, you need to add the data. You can get the data by searching cats dogs TF records. So if you search cats dogs TF records, you will get this data set. Just simply add this. It is ready to use, right? Once it is ready to use, go over here, copy the path, remove the previous part and just the name of the folder. So that is the that is how GCS path is obtained. GCS DS path. Then what you do is GCS DS path, and it will fetch that GCS DS path. In the meanwhile, we can define where are my TF record, train TF record path, what is my train TF record path, and validation TF record path. Now, what is the most common error? The most common way to do it wrong is simply copy the path and paste it over here. If you copy the path and paste it over here, it is wrong. If you remove this part, this is also wrong. Only this is correct. So slash anything, just slash after this folder name, if there is anything, let us say if the structure is cats, dogs, TF records, this is the main folder. After this is training file, training folder. Beneath under it is you have train.tf records. So your structure would be this. So what is after this thing? That is your train TF record paths. So please make sure you will be definitely able to figure out. But why to waste time if I figure out? There is no point of reinventing the wheel. And validation TF record is /validation.tf records. That's what it is. And after that, let us define our TF records format. So dictionary labeled. So to define the TF records format, you need to have two variables named as it is. Any deviation from that would pop up errors. So first variable you need to define is the dictionary labeled. The second variable you need to define is the image size. So after that, import quickml.begin.tpu. From there, import get labeled TF record format. And pass these two variables. With the appropriate values to this function, and your definition for the label TF record format will be done. Now how do you get this dictionary labeled? If you remember in the previous videos, I mentioned that in the dataset description you must write it clearly, the feature, this thing. So this is what you will be pasting over here. The dictionary, this is the dictionary that is needed to be pasted over here. Dictionary, this is my dictionary labeled. And your image size, you must remember the image size. What is it? It is there mentioned over here, 192 cross 192. That is the image size. Class encodings is something you will be requiring for your test predictions. So as of now, for training purposes, you won't require. So it is successfully executed. Now let us obtain the dataset. To obtain the dataset, what you need to do? Go over the documentation, look for training dataset. So training dataset should be this line of code. It requires three parameters. First parameter is the GCS-DS path. We have obtained that. Train TF record path, we have obtained that. Batch size, we have not defined. So let us define the other parameters. The other parameter are like epochs. Let us say I want to train for 5 epochs. Batch size, the ideal is defining this way: 16 into strategy dot number of replicas in sync. This is the ideal way. Now what we have, steps per epoch. Steps per epoch will be obtained later after you get to know how many samples you have in the training data. So number of images divided by batch size. What we have is, what else we have? I don't think there's anything else. So these are the two parameters. Let us begin. So let us begin by batch size, by defining this. Strategy is not defined. We will rerun this. This is a CPU instance. This is not a TPU instance. This I'm showing. Import the training dataset from quickml.begin.tpu. You need to import get training dataset and get validation dataset. So after a successful execution of this particular line of code, you must be able to obtain. Just hold on. What happened wrong? So after successful execution, you will be able to obtain the number of training images that have been loaded successfully. So let us see. Similar would be the validation dataset. For validation dataset, all you need to do is val dataset get validation dataset GCSDS path, validation TF-rec path, and the batch size. So till it is running, let us begin with the other section. The other section is the model training. So you have two options. Either we can begin with single model training, or we can begin with models training report. But if I were you, I would begin with this, and after that this. So why? Because I want to know which are the best models to begin with. If I get to know which are the best models to begin with, then I explore what can be done more by tuning the parameters and other options with those particular set of models. So models training report. Right now it is successfully executed. So these are the number of examples. So there was a problem with the dataset description. This is not image, this is image underscore raw for this particular dataset. That's why it was popping error. This dataset was created at a previous stage. However, there were some changes in the library. So for the new datasets you will be creating, it would be image. For the older ones I had made, it was image underscore raw. And now you have defined the steps for epoch. Now let us begin with the most exciting part of the video. I think this is what you will be waiting for. What is models training report? Models training report is something quite similar to this particular data table. So all you need to do is begin with from quick ML. From quick ML.training predictions, or you can go over the website and search. You can search for models training report. Here it is. So what is the models training report? To begin with, do the necessary import. After the successful import, just one line of code and you will be done. So it will return a data frame. Save the data frame in df variable. Gut models training report. First parameter is models. So let us define the models. For experimentation, I'll be showing you any 4 models. However, you can train 24 models, and that will be done under an hour. So under an hour you will be able to train 24 models. Let us begin with VGG19, ResNet 50, Inception V3, and Efficient Net V1. Let us begin with these 4 models. Then comes the TPU. TPU we have obtained. N class. The number of classes, we extremely vary about this particular parameter. The suggested is N class should be set to 1. The class A and not class A approach. So N class should be set as 1. Then comes your training data. Training data would be my train data set. For multi-class classification, you can set if there are 10 classes, you can set 10 classes. If there are 120 classes, you can set 120 classes. However, for binary classification, please make sure that the number of classes is set to 1. Right? Then you have steps per epoch. It is simply steps per epoch. Epochs is my epochs. What is my batch size? Batch size has been defined as batch size. Validation data. Validation data is saved by the name of validation dataset. Classification model, I'll keep the default classification model. If you want to add a classification model, you can do this by doing something like, I'll come to that in a later stage. Let us keep it for a later part of the video. Freeze. If you want to keep the layers of the models trainable, you should keep it false. If you want to freeze the model weights, pre-trained model weights, you should keep it true. So let us begin with false. Input shape is 192 cross 192 cross 3. Activation would be sigmoid. Weights ImageNet optimizer I would select as RMS prop. Loss should be binary cross entropy because it is a binary classification, binary cross entropy. Metrics should be accuracy. Callbacks, I'm not defining any callbacks as of now. Plot is a feature that will be soon arriving. And that's it. So to run this, I would require TPU. So let us run it using TPU and see it in action. So you can see just few steps and you're able to get started with TPU. TPU training is super fast, but setting up TPU is quite troublesome. The defining and everything. You can see how many lines of code has been commented. This is more than about 100 lines or 200 lines. Now, this is about some 100 lines. This is some 100 lines behind the scenes. This is some 10-20 lines. This is some 20-50 lines. So there's a lot happening behind the scenes with extreme optimizations. So it's quite it's quite beneficial for your experimentation purposes. You can begin with your experimentation at quite swift and rapid pace and with minimal troubles. So keep a watch over the time. You will be able to see how fast it happens. So in the meanwhile, we can set up with the single model training. For single model training, you need to do with strategy.scope and you do model equal to this. You get the model and you train the model. That's it. Now to get the model, what you need to do? Single model training. You need to do create model from load models quickly. So first you need to do create model, and after that one-liner code. So quite similar to the above, just you need to define the correct parameters. So let us begin. The classes would be one, any model. Let us say I want to train on efficient net B3. Classification model, let us say default. Freeze, let us say yes, let us freeze. Input shape would be is 192 cross 192. Activation is sigmoid. Weights ImageNet. Optimizer is RMS prop. You can see I have not added the pre-trained Keras weights. However, it is advisable that we add pre-trained Keras weights. That is Since the dataset is not that heavy, I have not added. However, if your dataset is exceeding few gigs, then I would suggest you to please add the pretrained Keras weight. That would be better for your RAM utilization. So that's how you can find TF underscore Keras pretrained weights, and that's how you can get it. Where was I? Yeah, let's begin with the optimizer. Optimizer would be RMS prop, loss is binary, cross entropy, and metrics. The metrics is accuracy. The metric is accuracy. Let us see how far it has proceeded. It is still there. And just one line of code. You will be able to obtain your model. You will be able to remove the the include layer, and you will be able to add. You will be able to add the classification model. After that, you are able to compile the model all in a single line of code. And after that, the model fitting. So for model fitting, we need trained dataset. We need test score epoch. We need epochs. We need validation data. Alright, so you see it's started. So in the meanwhile, if this is something you'll be able to see. So if there's a message I've added for the best performance, please use the pre-trained model weights. Download link is over here. And if you want to add a classification model, so what you need to do, I've set it as default. So default is something like your global average pooling, after that a dense layer with the n class, how many class you define, so that would be the number of output units. If you want a custom classification model, so what you need to do is class model tf dot keras dot sequential. So define the layers, as simple as that. Do the classification model, define the layers. So let us say tf dot keras dot layers dot dense, anything, just simply define the layers. That's what it is. After you define correctly, let us say just I want to add a single layer. I won't be doing this. All you need to do in this particular function call, replace the classification model with the name of this particular model, class model. And that's it. You're good to go. So as you can see, we have successfully completed the model training report, and we have obtained our training report. So let us have a quick look over the training report. The training report shows that for the model VGG, the latest accuracy was 50%, and the average of the top 3 accuracies, the last 3 accuracies is 50%, almost the same. It is the validation accuracy, the topmost validation, the latest validation accuracy, and the average of last 3 validation accuracies. So is the data for ResNet, so is the data for Inception V3, so is the data for Efficient Net V1. So I can say that even though this performance was good, the validation accuracy dropped. So this is also not the right choice to begin with. This is somewhat okay, this is good. So we can experiment with these two. However, I am not limiting, so all it took is 10 minutes. All it took was 10 minutes to run. For this particular code section, it took 5 minutes. For 4 models training, it took 5 minutes or 6 minutes. Hardly 5 or 6 minutes. And this is how the single model training would look like. So I would suggest, once you do this, you begin with your single model training. and this is something you will obtain. I'm not waiting for this. So that's the main idea. Let's get to the workflow once again. The workflow is you begin with the installation and the imports. After that you obtain the get strategy and load the dataset. After it is done, you do the models training, or you can do the single model training, whatever is right. However, I would prefer that you begin with get model training report, and after that, after obtaining the models training report, which is quite simple to obtain. If you go by the convention, it is quite troublesome, like model 1, model 2, model 3, model 4, turn by turn sequential model training. However, with this, it is just a matter of seconds. So you can obtain the table of model training report, as well as you can do a single model training. But the single model training is something quite similar you have seen before to what you've seen before. So that's it how it's happened. And in the next video, I'll show how you can begin with multi-class classification. In this, the idea was binary classification. So that's it. Take care. Bye bye.